Hello, my name is Janejira Smith. Thank you for joining me for pizza making today. Italian pizza was originated from Naples, Italy. It was invented for Queen Margherita when she came to visit Naples. And it's very simply done, not a lot of topping. And I'll walk you through the ingredients after I show you all the tools involved. Here we have pizza peel, the one that you'll be using to put the dough and the ingredients on top to put inside your oven. The wooden peel is the one you put your cooked pizza and you can cut directly on top of it. This small little peel is especially designed to turn your pizza when it's inside the hot oven, and you need to constantly turn the pizza around, otherwise your dough will start burning. The fire is very hot. Little self-made gadget is to scrape the stone inside the hot oven, so it's pretty handy to have around. Of course, you know the cutter and this little scraper. Next step, I like to go over our basic ingredients. We have the tomato sauce that is pre-cooked and with just big chunks of garlic. Italians do not like very garlicky sauce, hence garlic bread doesn't really exist in Italy. So it's cooked in low heat with a little bit of sugar and salt just to get rid of that acidity. Shredded mozzarella cheese, you could use shredded cheese or you could use the one that you hand cut yourself. Cut it very, very thin, especially if you're going to be using a brick oven like the one that I'm using, because your pizza is going to cook very, very fast. So you want to make sure that the cheese is very thin so it has enough time to melt. We have black olives, arugula. Toss over your pizza after it's cooked. You don't want to cook your arugula because that will burn for sure. Also, same thing with the basil, just garnish on top. And you can use either Parmesan cheese or pecorino cheese. A little bit of olive oil, mushrooms, and onion, and semolina. I wanted to show you how to cut up onions because onions has this very slippery layer in between. It's kind of dangerous. Keep your core intact. And this core keeps all the layers together. See how it's not slipping around because of that core? And then you can work in the rest. Okay. Those are some of your basic ingredients, and we'll make our first pizza. Okay, this part I'll introduce you to my dough that has been resting for 2 days. Last night I divided the dough into different pieces. I keep it in the refrigerator overnight, and in Italy it would serve one person, so they're personalized pizza. When you work with pizza dough, you have to feel happiness. They look happy. When I teach Thai lessons, I say to my students that your spirit must be in it. That will make everything that you cook taste so much better. It's very critical to remove your dough gently from the container and keep that circular form. we want to make sure we coat the tool with flour. So be very gentle with your dough right here. Good beginning will lead you to good ending, usually. They want to stick together. Then, in this style of pizza making, you don't use pin because you want to create pocket of air, right? And with the pin, it squeezes out all of the air. So just work it into a circle like this. Okay. You can flip it back and forth. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, don't do it, but it's really not scary because if you feel relaxed when you're working with the dough will be happy. And so you're transmitting this happiness in your pizza. And if it gets a little thin in the center, don't worry at all because the gravity of the dough will pull itself back together. So there's nothing to worry about. Just gotta be calm. What you want to do with your hand is this kind of motion. Round, gentle, easy. Look at that, it's perfectly round. So we're gonna have a very thick, airy, fluffy crust. All right, so first tool, right? Peel. I like to use Semolina for coating the bottom. This will keep your pizza dough from sticking to the metal, and when you toss this into your oven, it will just slide without any problems. First, the sauce. You're going to use about 1 scoop. Pour it in the center. Circles into the edge. Carefully not to go too far to the edge because when you toss this in, you don't want the tomato sauce to start running off of the pizza. Then a little bit of onion, which gives it that sweetness. Some cheese. Check that I don't have runaway cheese. So it's important that before you throw this in the oven, check that it's willing to leave the peel. If it's not, toss a little bit of semolina under. Okay? So those are just a little tip to make your life easy because if your pizza gets on the brick oven, of course, it's not the end of the world, but it's going to create a lot of smoke and a lot of cleanup. Drizzle some olive oil, and here we go. I just want to show you real quick, and I'm just constantly turning because the source of the heat is coming directly from the back. Some machine will have heat from around, and that's more even. Look at that, beautiful bubbles. add some pecorino before you put in the oven, or if it's real hot still, you can just toss that on top and it's going to melt away. Top it with some basil to give it that red, white, and green, just like the Italian flag, to honor the queen. I like to also give the pizza a little bit of rest. That way, when you cut into it, the cheese won't merge back into each other. So let's see. See, you can pull the slices apart and the cheese won't stick together like a phone line. A little bit of basil. That's great. Nice and thin. A little bit of cheese. Mmm. And once it's in there for about 5 seconds or so, your crust will start becoming harder and it's easy to slip the peel inside. Check. Just a couple of seconds more for the mushrooms. That looks pretty good. Voila! Well, that's French. I should say echo. When you go to Italy, the personalized pizza actually comes served on individual plate. You will never find pre-cut pizza in Italy. The pizza in Rome is very different, and you can buy it by the kilo, so they'll just slice it for you. Pizza Napoletana with olives and mushrooms.